Hi everyone, Diane Roberts here for my retirement vlog. Today is August 10th, 2022, and today is week 32 in 52 weeks of dishcloths. I have a backdrop of a quilt here. It's hanging on my sewing machine. I have been preparing a quilt for a quilt show, and I decided to give up on it. It's on this other table here, and this is the quilt I'm going to submit into the show for judging, and it has to be finished by the 12th, and today's the 10th. But this is from probably 5 or 6 years ago. It's called Mosaic Madness, I believe, from Winging a Prayer Quilt Company. It was a block of the month at Emma's Quilt Cupboard back in 2016, 2015 maybe. So what is that, 6 and 6, 12? 6 years later, I'm deciding to actually finish it. I already have the binding made. I had a backing already picked out, which I pieced the backing yesterday. I've loaded it on my quilt frame. I've got a seam to fix in here that I didn't like. I'm going to redo that. And after I finish this video and upload it today, I'll be downstairs all day trying to get this quilt quilted so that hopefully it'll be done in time for me to submit it for judging. Back to washcloths. I just have that in the back. I just wanted to talk about that to let you know what's going on in my life this week. Okay, back to washcloths. I went back to my 52 weeks of dishcloths from Knit Picks. What's it called? A Knit Picks Kitchen Spectacular. And I've exhausted a lot of the knitting ones. Most of the ones in the front part of the book I have knitted. And then I did some that I'm finding on the web so that you get the free pattern. And now this one is a free pattern on Ravelry, which you wouldn't think so because it's in a book, but I found it. So I'm going to link to this. It's called Ribbon Candy. Many of you probably remember ribbon candy from when we were younger. I mean, they still have it now at Christmas. We only had it at Christmas time, and we had it every year. It was the oddest candy that you broke off. It was so sharp. It was like glass. But anyway, it's crocheted. I decided, because I've done a lot of knitting, I'm going to do a couple of crochets. It's nice to pick up a hook every now and then and either learn a crochet stitch or refresh on a crochet stitch. So here it is. I used the same colors as last week because I had the greens and the variegated with the green specks in it left over. So I thought, you can see in the middle of the variegated lighter colors, there's a ridge. That ridge is done by knitting in the back loop of the previous crocheting in the back loop of the previous row, stitch of the previous row. And it looks long, but it did say 9 inches. Oh, my rule is buried. This is probably 10. Yeah, I'd probably say it's about 10 inches. Could make the stripes go vertical too. Whatever. So I can pair this as a gift item. One's bigger and one's smaller with last week's. Much smaller last week. This was 8. So that's probably, 11, maybe even 12. So that was last week's. Same colors. Colors look a little different seeing them big this way. Crocheted. Quick again, very easy. Single crochets and double crochets and crocheting in the back loop of the previous row. It's pretty easy. I'm just going to cut these ends. I haven't finished it off because what I wanted to share this week, besides sharing this pattern, which is free on Ravelry, I'll send you the link. Even though it's in the book, it's free. And also, my friend Diana from Espresso Knitters sent me a link, or shared a link with all of us actually, by Very Pink Knits, that shows a very unique way of tying in or weaving in the ends in a cotton yarn, in a fabric that is not necessarily stretchy the way woolens are. And I'm going to, in addition to linking the pattern, the crochet pattern for Ribbon Candy, I will also link the Very Pink Knits link so that you can maybe try that out if you're doing some cotton knitting. I didn't tell you who this pattern was by. It's by Kim Cameron. So anyway, it is free on Ravelry, and I will link that for you. Oh, so that's that. And today it's about 9 o'clock, and it's 9 o'clock in New England. Actually, it's 9:02, and it's 67 degrees. Yay! Temperatures have come down about 30 degrees, but it's still quite humid. No complaining. I have the air conditioning turned off, and I have windows and doors open, which is why the dogs are starting to bark. They hear the ants walking across the deck, I swear, and they have to. Hey, Oliver, get off of Molly. Oliver, come. Come on. Oh, he's not coming. Okay, so that's that. We'll see you next week. Have a great week, and enjoy the cooler temperatures, if they are cooler indeed near you.